Oh, good evening, everyone. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back to Hogwarts Legacy. Go. Excellent. Hey, we are starting off right where we left off. I didn't really have much time to do any off-screen stuff. Between getting ready for the semester, a bonus D&D game this week, and I have been getting a bit into Baldur's Gate 3. I've been doing other things. So back here we are. I do have, I'm pleased to say, all of my classes completely set up, all set, ready to go next Monday. So next Monday's stream, you'll get to, well, actually, sorry, next Tuesday, next Monday's stream, we'll be talking about what's coming up.
Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade?
So I'm gonna be happy to talk about some of the fun stuff that we're gonna be doing in the first few weeks of the semester, which is mostly going to be the logic and critical thinking stuff that I always start off with. But this time with a fun little twist, being that I'm using. Should I just talk about this now? I mean, I might as well. I'm going to be using a page from one of Saoirse's kindergarten books as. Oh, wonderful. I'm going to be using a page from one of Saoirse's kindergarten books as an example of a way of thinking that we had all best avoid. Oh, Merlin trial.
Could it
Oh, I don't like these ones. Ones are annoying. I'm not going to do that one. This page though. Down here.
Revelio.
Ah. There's a wolf down there. Ah. Alahatsi fudge. Made from the leaves of the Alahatsi tree, this fudge is a delightful confection that causes uncontrollable laughter. I love this. And just people around here just flying kites, you know? Awesome. Anyway, so I found out recently, and it was frighteningly, that one of my biggest pet peeves in education, sort of generally, that being this idea of this being the idea of the fact-opinion strong distinction, that these are exhaustive and exclusive categories of kinds of statements and that sort of thing. Right? I still have Malice Week, right? Yeah. That this is something that I've gone over before, and I have to go over extensively every semester because everyone gets it horrifically wrong. Because we all learned, you know, in kindergarten, apparently, and all through elementary and even middle school, I guess, maybe even high school, that there are these two kinds of statements. There are facts, and that there are opinions, and that these don't overlap with each other. And then further, and perhaps most dangerously, that any kind of value statement is what we would call an opinion, and is therefore non-factual. So, for example, you might have a worksheet, and this is the kind of thing that's in Saoirse's kindergarten book.
Accio. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Confringo. Stupefy. Everyone get. Confringo. Protego. Stupefy. Levioso.
Where'd the other guy go? Saw there was another one. The guy confringoing me. There he is.
Accio. Incendio.
There we go. Taken care of. Nasty dark wizards taken care of. Yeah. So anyway, so you'll get these worksheets all the way into kindergarten, apparently, all the way back to kindergarten, which is basically trying to make this categorize each of the following statements into either fact or opinion. And it'll be something like, just as an obvious sort of parallel pair of distinctions, say the sky is blue versus the clouds are pretty, right? So typically what you'll get there, oh, hey there. What you'll get there is this idea that the sky is blue is a factual statement, whereas the clouds are pretty is an opinion statement. The implication being that it's not a fact, it's non-factual.
It's shameful what you've done to helpless beasts.
Poachers. Peace item. So yeah, this is of course obvious nonsense, right? Because first and most obviously, the sky is blue can be someone's opinion. That can be what someone thinks is the case. It could also be a fact that the clouds are beautiful. Otherwise, we could never disagree about such things in a rational manner. Or we might also, God, another really dangerous one is something like where it has the phrase lying is wrong classified as an opinion rather than as a fact. And then we wonder why it is that students don't quite understand why certain things are wrong, and why we have, say, an academic dishonesty crisis. Which I would call it a crisis. We really have. So I would say so.
If it isn't Slytherin's newest broom talent.
Heyo. Yeah, that it's a very important false dichotomy that we're all sort of that we have all ingrained into us very, very from a very, very young age. And it's like it has to be in almost any class that I teach. It has to be the first thing that I undermine and that I have to sort of reteach, because it's horribly wrong, and I refuse to have Saoirse learn how to grow develop into these bad ideas. And so some poor harried college ethics professor has to fix it, 15 years hence, whatever. Better nip it in the bud, right?
Hello, Imelda. Albie Week sent me.
Did he now? Still tinkering with his broom upgrade, no doubt. I tried to help him once. He nitpicked my flying technique, and that was the end of that. The nerve. Why is he roping you into his broom testing silliness?
I'm sure.
You've barely started flying from what I know. Caught wind of you showing off in flying class with Clopton.
Let's de-escalate.
I don't know what people have said, but I certainly wasn't showing off.
Tell that to the rest of the school. But it doesn't matter. Everyone knows that class is only for beginners, troublemakers, and bumbling baboons. But for some reason, now people think you're competition. Ugh, I can't be having that.
Perhaps I am competition.
You can't be what passes for Slytherin these days. Pfft, ragged old hat's dropping its standards. Enough of this.
Ooh.
Only one way to find out who's the better flyer. I hold one of the fastest times on this course. Let's see if you can beat it. Slytherin versus Slytherin.
Actually, why not? I can beat your record.
I'm so looking forward to seeing you lose.
No. Ready, set, go.
Success.
Oh, I missed one. It's a bit wobbly. Man. Oh, geez.
This is rather fun.
Man, got thrown off there. We're good. We're good.
Oh! Oh! Did it?
And the dual stick controls are a little bit awkward for this. Jeez. I can do it. It's fine.
Brilliant.
They're a little bit... They take some getting used to. It's not super intuitive. But I actually really do like it. Once you sort of get the feel for it, it does, I think, feel pretty much right. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, yeah, no, I
Did anyone else see that?
ripped that time apart. Gee. Okay.
That's not... You must have cheated, you... Ugh! Fine. You won. Don't think this is over. You can't determine skill from one single trial.
Surely my win means something.
You're not terrible, but you're still going to have to prove yourself if you want to earn my respect.
Challenge accepted then.
Perhaps you have what it takes after all. We shall see. But don't get your hopes up. The next course near Irondale offers a much tougher challenge. You can try to prepare by racing this course again. Just check in at the podium, where the leaderboard is. You can check your time and start the race. We'll see next time if your win here was more than just a fluke. Whilst on an errand for Albie Weeks.
That's alright. I was not actually cheating, but that does remind me. I want to. Not on this. I didn't activate it yet. My Mod Tools, cheat engine, whatever you want to call it. Just because I knew I was going to be doing the race, and I didn't actually want to. There it is. Here we go. Let's, There we go. Alright. Yeah, that's what I want. I want infinite broom boost. And, also instant brew potions, because we're gonna probably be doing some potions tonight. And, that's annoying. Unbelievably annoying. Alright, what we got? Okay, unidentified. I need to get the room of requirement unlocked so I can actually identify those. So we'll do that tonight, hopefully. In the Highlands. Field guide pages in the Highlands. Alright, what else we got? What's our... return to Albie Weeks. Could do that, yes. That is what I currently have tracked. Professor Sharp's assignment. We get Focus Potion, Maxima Potion, and Endurance Potion. We'll get to that. Goblin Camp. Oh, we can do that maybe tonight. Alien Keys. Oh yeah, we haven't actually gone back to our delivery for Perry Pippin. Ghosts. Yeah, let's go back to Albie Weeks, but first, I do want to go fly over to Hogsmeade Station, if I recall, where there is a very nice broom available for purchase. Anyway, yeah, I am very much looking forward, as I said, looking forward to starting the semester again. Oh, teaching ethics again should be a whole lot of fun. I always have a good time with this course. I'm still refining it, I will say. Unlike my philosophy of religion course, which is really nailed down, um, almost to the point of it being rote. This one's a little more up in the air. I'm changing things around. I've cut some things out. I've added a thing or two. I've added more time for sort of more, I guess you'd call open discussion kind of things. We're doing a bunch of case studies and stuff like that.
Hello.
Plenty of extra time for that, more than usual.
Sale?
That I do, but what's a student like yourself doing out here? Got yourself lost, did you?
Flying around.
Just exploring the countryside a bit.
Flying.
Nice to break the routine now and then. Bit of a wanderer myself, in fact. Name's Leopold Babcock, and I am indeed here to sell. Now, for someone like yourself who is also prone to wander, I cannot understate the importance of keeping some Wiggenweld potion on hand. I wouldn't dare set foot in a place like the Forbidden Forest without a steady supply. What do you say, my young friend? A measure of safety for the path ahead?
Something to consider. Thank you for your help, Mr. Babcock.
I've got some.
Let me know if you see something you like.
What do you have for sale?
I've got some, in fact.
See if there's something you need.
I do need mallowsweet leaves, and I can't grow them yet. I can sell that.
I shall hope to do business with you again.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patronage.
Afford 300.
That's been a pleasure.
Revelio.
Aha. The train station. There's a ticket office. It's the early 1800s when the Minister for Magic, Adeline Gamble, acquired a steam engine train to transport students to Hogwarts. The station appeared in Hogsmeade virtually overnight, just after the train did. The operation involved using a lot of memory charms on Muggle workers and a large mass concealment charm ever performed in Britain. Huh. Who is selling?
No, I swear I won't be wasting your time, and I'm grateful for the opportunity, ever so.
Come on then, what you got?
It's
Why is it moving?
What, I bet...
Your bag, it's wriggling. What you got in there? Not rats, I hope.
No, it's a niffler!
What do I want with a niffler?
He's sharp. Stole from me, he
He
did.
was robbed by a niffler.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So I guess there is not a, there isn't a room for sale around here. I guess I was wrong. That's alright. Oh well, moving on. To Hogsmeade, shall we? We can walk, run, whichever the case might be. We'll eventually need that. It's just I was just thinking about how it's honestly quite hilarious to me that conjuration, basically just making stuff for the room of requirement. It's basically the spellcraft excuse for being able to move around and decorate. Move around and decorate your own nice little sanctum. That is strictly disallowed outside the room of requirement throughout the halls of Hogwarts. Because it can be unbelievably dangerous and, not to mention, annoying for everyone involved if things are just being conjured and disappeared all the time. Which, yeah, though, that's true. That actually does make sense. However, that is the fact that is taken so seriously that you literally cannot cast the spells outside the room of requirement. They just don't work. Like you just can't cast them. That is really funny next to the fact that you can just cast Avada Kedavra at people at random, like in the streets of Hogsmeade and in the classrooms of Hogwarts. Nuts.
Mr. Weeks, I was able to set a record on my broom.
Incredible! Miss Ray's must have been shocked. Tell me, how was the broom?
A little turbulent, and it's wanting for a bit of speed, but it fared well enough. I will say that it tended to drift a bit to the left on certain turns. Heard a slight swoosh when I dipped.
Oh, thank you. That's precisely what I needed to know. Drifted, eh? I shall get to work immediately. Even the naysayers will be forced to admit that my work's had potential all along.
I'm excited to hear more.
I have a very good feeling about this upgrade. I guarantee you'll be pleased. Expect to hear from me soon.
Excellent.
How to address the issue of altitude as it relates to speed?
I'll tell you what, speed and maneuverability on the brooms, it really does make a significant difference. They really make the upgrades feel like upgrades. The delivery for Perry Pippin. A hat. Meh. Again, not sword in style at all. Like so many things, really. No. The little ones are fine. I'm not intentionally, by the way, styling him after me, as far as the glasses go, at least. I just like smallish, rectangular rimmed glasses. What can I say? What gonna do?
Come on in. Healing potions are a speciality here, should you need any.
Hello, Mr. Pippin. You need help with the delivery?
Yes, I do. A capable student such as yourself should have no trouble making the trip to Cambridge. It's just south of Hogwarts.
What do you need delivered?
Fatima Lawang ordered a few invisibility potions. I used to go myself, but lately Fatima has taken to turning every visit into an argument. Constantly complaining about the quality of my stock. But how can I maintain excellence when she orders so often, giving me no time to brew? If you take this rather irritating task off my hands, I'd happily allow you to claim the delivery fee from Fatima.
I'd rather not deal with difficult people, but for a reward, I think I can manage.
Indeed. Here are the invisibility potions she requested. Hopefully she won't give you too much trouble. She's a talented potioneer in her own right. I dare say I wouldn't mind having a look at her potion recipes one day.
Why does she keep ordering that?
Revelio.
How did I miss that? Oh well. Okay. So we have to get out of Hogsmeade. Fly on down there.
Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade.
Let's make a little pit stop in the boathouse. Gotta love the boathouse. Such a minor location throughout the books, but still very nice.
Incendio.
And it's taken the house elf a week to unstick that screaming portrait. Awake!
Oh no.
You will behave, or so help me Merlin, I will bring you straight back home.
Somebody got a howler. To know why.
What are you up to now?
Did something horrible with a portrait, of course.
I'd take flying over walking.
Same. Absolutely. This broom has a neat little swirly whirly that comes off the tail. Kind of cool. Took me a while to figure out what that was. So, in other news that is vaguely of interest to me, Niffler, a Niffler den, a golden Niffler. We're gonna have to find you later, aren't we? Ah, I remember this. Yeah, this is a quest. This is a quest.
Revelio.
Huh. Murtlap tentacles. Your potion ingredient raise resistance to certain dark charm that contain healing properties. Okay. Oops.
Accio. Incendio. Levioso. Revelio.
There it is. All right. Anyway. Still almost 700 yards, so let's keep going. Anyway, yeah, so anyway, in other news, apparently, I haven't actually been keeping track of this. Ahsoka just came out with its first couple of episodes. I have not watched yet. I am probably going to give it a shot. I am skeptical after the severe downward trend of the last season of The Mandalorian, and especially Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi. If you have any interest in some of my thoughts on Mandalorian, there's already a link in the description to a video I have on the subject.
Like
At least vaguely on the subject. It's more so a couple of videos about that one episode in particular, with the Jack Black and Lizzo episode that has to do with battle droids and such. The Tilted House. My videos, of course, have to do with public choice theory and with droid sapience, which is really its own sort of separate issue to the quality of the series. But you'll get some of my thoughts on the matter in there anyway. That said, I thought that that Andor was spectacular. Very EU in quality and tone and style. Oh. Pop a pumpkin.
Always love that Pippin.
But I thought it was very good. So I think that there is hope for Ahsoka. I think Dave Filoni does a good job when he's playing with his own OCs in his own sandbox. Which he certainly is here. So I do think that there is a chance, at least, for Ahsoka to be good. But I have already heard some really mixed reviews. I'm not going to spoil anything, but they are going in a bit of a strange direction in terms of world building, I will say. From what I have heard. I want to see the context for myself before I really pass any judgment, but skeptical. If you've seen it and know what I'm talking about, then maybe you do too. In any case, though, Like I said, I think that it could be good, and the main reason I think that it could be good is the reason for most of the criticism that I've seen so
Let's see
far.
what's up your sleeve this time, Merlin.
Aside from, beside from abdominal stabbings no
Rebellion.
longer being considered fatal in Star Wars, that's an ongoing problem. That's nothing new. Let me do this. Love the broom. It's just such a nice little shortcut.
Seems a pleasant enough little place.
This is an adorable little outdoor bar. I love this. Ginger. Yeah, it does actually help with nausea quite a bit. Really. Very true. Anyway, it seems like, from what I've been hearing, most of the criticisms I've heard have been that, well, this is just a sequel to Rebels. Well, this doesn't have the same impact. There's no real impact to this series unless you're already a fan of the characters, unless you already know Star Wars Rebels, unless you've followed the series or you know what's going on, that sort of thing. That seems to be the biggest complaint, aside from the abdominal lightsaber injuries. That's it. And I think that kind of connection to previous stories, overall quality notwithstanding, is actually a strength in Star Wars storytelling, and it has been going back to the EU in the 90s. More on that in a moment.
Pippin.
Yeah, that was a weird thing to drop out on. Sorry about that. And it's also, she's basically just insulting him. You didn't miss too much.
Why do you keep ordering from him if you think the quality to be inferior?
It would seem I have more and more customers who are trying to stay out of sight. I'm not one to judge. You can simply imagine the stress I'm under to deliver quality products. Unlike some vendors, I strive to keep my customers satisfied.
Anyway, fine.
Here are the
you go.
potions you requested.
You think it's so simple? I know Pippin is always trying to cheat his customers, cutting corners to save some galleons for himself at the expense of quality. You'll not be getting a canut out of me until you prove the potion works. Drink it.
Fine.
Seems simple enough. I'll do it.
I should think so.
It seems to have worked.
There you go.
Well, I suppose that will do.
If the demand for potions is as high as you say, have you considered being easier to work with? Perhaps combining your recipes and skills?
Not a chance. That ne'er-do-well had his shop handed to him. The rest of us had to make our own way. I'll not give him the benefit of my hard work and gumption. If he fails on his own, so be it.
Okay.
Very
Not
well.
my business.
I shall let Mr. Pippin know I delivered the potions as requested.
Not
You
my
do
business.
that.
You're kind of bent. I don't think I need
I
your,
should be going
to
now.
give you my business.
Thank you.
Let's be off. No, let's not go straight back. There's other quests to do in this little area. There's one in Lower Hogsfield, the goblins, right? Yeah, that one. That one's up north. Forbidden Forest. Right. Let's not zoom in. Oh, right. This is the valley that loops all the way around to like Feldcroft and whatnot. Forgot about all that. All right, let's go. Anyway. Nice. Main. Oh, I could have sold her all this junk. Things I don't need. Ooh, that actually is really nice. I'm keeping that for now. No, still like this one better. It's nice, but it's bulbous. That's nice. If I had a green one, maybe. Gotta be that one. Still gotta be that one. Alright. Anyway, though. Explorer. Anyway, though. To my earlier point, before I get cut off. What I've always really liked... What I've always really liked about Star Wars is the interconnectivity of the world building. What I mean by that is that every little piece of all the various things going on very clearly happen in the same world. You know? Balloons.
An encampment. This must be it.
I'm gonna do the balloons first.
How many of you are there?
One less human to worry about.
I can't believe they're using that line. Isn't that copyrighted by BioWare? Whee! But anyway, yeah, it's one of those things that it makes Star Wars far more of a niche. Ooh. It makes Star Wars far more of a niche kind of thing than it's currently trying to be, let's say. Right? Because I'll say that that currently you really do have a bunch of series and things that are tailored towards I don't know how to put it. I guess normies is probably the best way of saying it. That is very
The wizards will have no choice but to submit to us.
Petrificus totalis.
Got one. That is very kind of reductive and kind of maybe even insulting, I guess. But at the same time, it also, I think, makes a pretty solid point that
I didn't touch your...
that the whole point of current Star Wars, that a large part of it.
How many of you are there?
I need to pause. Hold on. I'm having issues. Frame dropping. It was not ready for me to jump in like that. We okay? Okay. Looks like we're fine. Sorry about that. It just did not cooperate. Didn't feel like cooperating with me there. In any case, sorry about that. Like I was saying, still jittery. I don't know why my stream is still being an issue. Come on now. Anyway, I'll just talk until my stream decides to catch up with me. How about that? So what I was saying is that it used to be that especially when Star Wars was mostly books, comics, and video games. When it was only the EU, say in the 90s, leading up until the sequels, and up until the prequels, and then sort of after the prequels, sort of refiguring and doing a lot of retconning in the EU to sort of fit the prequels into it, that sort of thing. In the late 90s, early 2000s. Am I still dropping a bunch of frames? It says I am, but it doesn't look like it. Whatever. When that was still happening in Star Wars, it was much more niche, because it had to be. You're not going to have a mass market audience like you need for current shows like The Mandalorian, or like Ahsoka or whatever. You're not going to have that kind of a mass market for people reading a bunch of books, right? But the people who are reading any Star Wars books are probably going to be willing to read all of them, right? And so you can have this richly developed, interconnected world, universe, galaxy, whatever, story, because you know that your audience is there for it. And that's always been probably what I loved most about Star Wars growing up, is that it's this whole and complete world that you can just sort of fall into, and there's stuff everywhere, you know? And now, because a lot of the reviewers I've been seeing, who are even like, they follow Star Wars and they think of themselves as Star Wars fans and such, are saying things like, well, I haven't really watched Rebels, so I guess this isn't for me. And I'm just like, yeah, no, it's not. Why are you bothering with this? Because back in the day, like right now, I just finished reading or listening to the Jedi Academy trilogy, which I had never read before. But that series assumes you have read the Thrawn trilogy and the Dark Empire comics. Now, I've still not read the Dark Empire comics. I'm familiar enough with them, and I know that they're not particularly good. But it just casually refers to things that happened in both of those, even in Courtship of Princess Leia. That it just sort of casually refers to all of that, as if you know what's going on, like you're a character in this world. Yes, there is a little bit of exposition to sort of, in case you missed anything or in case you need a reminder, but it treats that stuff as having happened, you know? That can't really happen if you're trying to market to a brand new audience who, for The Mandalorian, who hasn't really watched Star Wars since it came out in theaters, and even then maybe seen each one once, maybe, and might not remember what order they were in, you know? Who thinks Baby Yoda is super cute. That's the core audience of current Disney Plus Star Wars, you know, and that kind of a normie audience cannot be drawn into these complex and emotionally impactful narratives that you would have if you can draw on decades worth of writing. And so the big complaints being that the show doesn't do enough to bring in the audience and to invest you in the characters, because it's expected that you already know and love them from Rebels. Well, yeah, of course. Like, that's like saying that The Courtship of Princess Leia is a bad book, or better yet, that's like saying that The Truce of Bakura is a bad book because it doesn't introduce the relationships between, say, Luke, Han, and Leia. Even throw Wedge in there if you want. Baka, right? Of course it doesn't. You just finished watching Return of the Jedi. You pick up Truce at Bakura. It picks up literally later that day. Duh. Of course. It's the same characters. They have the same dynamics. They act in the same way. It's a good book. But it relies on other things. Right? I think that there's maybe too much of a tendency now to want...
Such arrogance.
You don't believe you can defeat me, do you?
Ooh, jeez. Ow! What happened?
I've been fighting since before you were born. I can't win.
Who keeps shooting me? Is it you?
A miss. Run, Robin.
There we go.
Accio. Incendio. Protego.
Still hoping to survive this, are you?
There we go.
Not quite. Victory is ours.
Ow! Okay, well, I goofed out. Let's try this again. I should have known better. I should have healed. I wasn't paying attention. That's okay, it happens. Anyway. Yeah, I think that based on the kinds of criticisms I've been seeing of Ahsoka. Now, sure, I have seen some issues about the dialogue. I've seen some issues about the pacing. I've seen some issues about the choreography. I've seen some issues about, obviously, the whole non-lethal stab wounds and stuff. Fine, whatever. But aside from all that,
how many of you are there?
And maybe that's a lot.
Someone, one less human to worry about. I will make you pay.
Expelliarmus.
Who's that?
I shall avenge your death.
Accio.
Get over here.
Incendio.
Yeah, if I don't know, maybe all of that will still be too much and it'll still not be very good, but
An intruder!
Expelliarmus. Levioso.
really?
Accio. Incendio.
You won't get
I know you're in.
Huh?
Accio. Incendio.
Was that your best?
Levioso.
Not quick enough. Much too slow. You won't stop me.
Levioso.
There we go.
I will make you.
Accio.
I probably didn't need Accio for that. It's fine.
Levioso. Accio. Incendio. That was quite something. Now, to free Arn's cards.
Okay. That's pretty good. Good fight. Yeah, I think that maybe there is a chance
Revelio.
that Ahsoka might actually be for me.
Looks as if there's more than one way to enter.
Then again, on the other hand, it could also be that because it is so deeply embedding itself within the world of Disney Star Wars, which is just honestly just so vastly inferior to the world of Star Wars that has sort of come before, the Legends or the EU canon or what have you. That it might not actually be that good because it's sort of embedding itself within an inferior story. I don't know, maybe. I'm willing to give it a shot. I may or may not actually give it a shot on Disney Plus for views. I might watch it first and then go back and see, and then go back and rewatch it on Disney Plus if I think it's actually worth watching and worth giving reviews for and giving views to and all that. We'll see.
Revelio.
I'll have to wait and see. And I don't have I don't even pretend to have the whole excuse of well, I'm a reviewer and I have people who I have influence and that if I watch it then it's fine. I'm not giving them views because other people would listen to me and not watch it because I'm watching it. No, that's ridiculous. You guys don't come here for that. And if you do come here for that, you go other places for that first. So, whatever. I don't have that excuse, so I don't watch things that I don't think I should or don't think are worth watching or would say not to. I mean, if I happen to watch something and it turns out that it was a bad idea, that I shouldn't have watched it because it turned out to be awful, then I'll let you know, I suppose, you and social media and whatever. But I have no delusions to think that that you particularly care about my
Accio.
what I have to say on various media topics, you know? Nor should you. Realistically, I'm no expert on such matters. I don't know enough about storytelling, or writing, or even, you know, literature or media criticism
Revelio.
to be an authority on such matters. Come on. Stop with the dropping of the frames, man. There are a lot of these little pedestals for this Merlin trial. There's a ton of them.
Quite an enchantment. The carts are returning to on.
I mean, they're kind of getting stuck, so maybe I should get out of the way. But there you go. Good luck. Safe travels.
Revelio.
There's one set of balls. Are there more?
Accio.
Right here. Do-do-do-do-do.
Revelio.
Well, there's just one more, and it's out there. But where are the balls for it? Over there. There's the balls.
Incendio.
Ha!
Accio.
Did it.
Merlin himself would be proud.
All right. All right, let's see. New gloves. Yeah. No. Don't like the look. No hat still. No. No. Close, but no. No. Far too Reddit. Let's see. Oh, it's all sloppy and unbuttoned. That's horrid. That's nice, but where was that? The one I was literally just wearing. There it is. That's it. Aristocratic thing. Perfect. Anyway. Maybe I'll switch my robe back to the cape. I liked it. Yeah, no, I like that best. I'm gonna stick with that. Alright, anyway, let's move right along. So I'll say, I gotta return to Arn, actually. I can just do that right now. 400 yards. Ooh.
Revelio.
A dead dragon? Hebridean black scale. There's some spooters over there, which I'll just kindly ignore. Don't need to deal with spooters. I'll off some things.
Hello, Mr. Semi.
What can I do for you?
What do you have for sale?
What can I help you with today? I hope to see you again sometime.
Thanks, you too. All right.
If you're here for my wares, I'm afraid...
On, I have good news. Your carts are on their way back.
I don't know what to say. Any hope I have of getting my belongings back was quickly fading. Ramrock's lot called me a fool for believing in the good in wizard kind. Thank you for proving them wrong.
I managed to free your carts fairly easily.
Oh, I'm glad you're all right. Oh, I can't wait to have my
It didn't
things
come
back,
off as nearly as
especially my
polite as I
paints.
was intending, but okay.
You know, you've inspired me. I've been dealing with witches and wizards for years, and we've always got along just fine. Perhaps my next piece will be a tribute to all that is good between us.
It's a little excessive.
I'm not sure that's worthy of a painting.
You'd be surprised at how art can touch people. I think it's well worthy. Thank you again for all of your help.
All right, if you say so. Wonderful.
All the best to
Goblin
you.
made helmet.
Once my carts arrive, I'd be happy to show you my wares.
Almost level 20. And oh boy. All right, what's next? Okay, room of requirement next? No, we should go back to Mr. Pippin. Then we'll go to the room of requirement. There we go.
Wonder who lives here.
I want to go through these weird little canyons. Oh, you go in there. Go up here. Configuration courtyard. I don't know exactly where the outside windows of the Slytherin common room are. I know they're around here somewhere. I know I've seen them. Another time. Right.
Revelio.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you. Didn't see you there. There. Okay.
We have
I
everything
have
a
a
young
lot of
student
unseen
might
talent
need when it comes to
points.
potions. Have a good look around.
I have a lot.
I delivered the potions to Fatima Lawang.
Very good. And did she cause you any trouble?
I can see why you didn't want to go. She was quite cantankerous.
I do truly appreciate your help. And at least it's done with.
It was a pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Pippin.
Likewise. Worth every bit of that delivery fee to have someone capable deal with that witch.
Best of luck with your potions, Mr. Pippin.
Do take care.
I wonder if he's using witch insultingly or descriptively. I mean, both apply, certainly. Certainly both apply. I'm curious. Alrighty then. Room of requirement. Let's do this. This is another major mechanical aspect of the game that doesn't become available until a significant ways in. Because really, this is what, episode 4? It's 12 hours into the game. And yeah, fine, we've been lollygagging a little bit, but even if you just rocketed through the main story missions to get here, this is at least, I don't know, 3 hours more? This is at least 3 hours into the game. I would say 4. Even if you're just rocketing straight through and just doing main story quests and just going boop, 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 next thing through, not doing all the collection stuff. This is at least 3 or 4 hours into the game. And the Room of Requirement is a major, significant part of, I guess, part of what sells this game, you'd say? Ooh, it looks like we have a Summoner's Court contest. Let's play. Let's do this.
What are you doing out here?
Challenging you to a game of Summoner's Court. I think
Okay,
it's time you faced a real opponent. Outside of Ronan's little lesson in charms class, Summoner's Court isn't just a game. It's a battle of skill. A test of a witch or wizard's mettle. What say?
Alright.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Brilliant! Summoner's Court. The
Going
ever-changing
first?
game.
There's a bunch of barrels in the way.
Here.
Troubling.
Try to beat that.
Accio.
Could have gone a little further. That's fine.
Eh, lucky shot. Accio.
Is he gonna pump mine into the winner? Okay, no.
Nothing to it.
Yeah, well. Oh! Interesting.
Not bad. Accio.
I didn't know they bounced like that. Alright, alright. I really gotta step it up.
All in the wrist.
Alright, I really gotta step it up here.
Accio.
There we go. Victory.
That was one for the ages. Well
Glorious
done.
victory.
You beat me.
Alright. Here.
Bit of good luck, that's all.
Come now, Leander. There's no need for that.
Fine, you're good. Better than I am, at least. I'll let the others know you're good enough to keep playing.
The others?
I lost 7 matches in a row to Samantha Dale. The others who placed Summoner's Court thought that if you couldn't beat me, you wouldn't be enough of a challenge.
Yeah, Gryffindor, I'm gonna make you quit.
Leander, there's no easy way to say this. Well, actually, there is. You're not cut out for it.
Well, you could have found a harder way to say it. But perhaps you're right. I'll let the others know you're good enough for them.
Brushing off your sleeve with your wand. Nice. Okay, I got another talent point. Another talent point. More and more and more to use. I go through here. Oh yeah, that's right. It untracked my quest. Here we go. How far is this? At least this side of the school. I think I could fly halfway there, to that bridge there. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fly. Fly to the bridge. If I can. What? Well, that's not right. I dismount over there? There. Why this bridge, but not that one? Strange. Alright, whatever. Fine. Oh. What's she gonna do to you? You're a ghost. Anyway, moving on.
Life seems rather dull in the hamlet now.
This is where I'm supposed to meet. Right next to the dancing trolls tapestry, or whatever it's called. Tapestry about the wizard who tried to teach trolls to dance. Still there 100 years later, of course.
Professor Weasley?
Somewhere away from prying eyes.
Third time's the charm. Very magical.
Forgive me, the headmaster stopped me and I... Merlin's beard. I see you've wasted no time. Well done. Shall we?
Off to you, Professor.
That's very cool. A really cool concept, the whole room of requirement thing. It is sort of castle providing something to you. Now, I have to wonder if this was something that was designed by the 4 founders and implemented, put into the castle.
This place?
This is the
Or if it's just something
it only appears when one
just
is
sort
in
of,
real need of it. Ordinarily,
if it's an
student
emergent
might stumble
quality,
upon
let's
this
say.
room entirely by accident, if ever. I'd only planned to suggest to you how to find it by walking past that bit of wall, focusing on what you need. But you've managed to reveal the room on your own. While I'm here, we should take advantage of the moment. Now, where is Deke? He must have sneaked past and gone ahead.
Deke, Professor.
The house elf I was speaking to in my classroom your first day. Thought he might help you use the room once you found it. There's no chance I'm clambering over this mess. This presents the perfect opportunity to teach you Evanesco, the vanishing spell. You can cast Evanesco to vanish certain objects, such as these chairs and other things here in the room. I suggest you practice the wand movements first, then you can clear the chairs away.
Okay. This is one of those spells that it is literally impossible to cast outside the room of requirement, because it's strictly forbidden and would be terribly, terribly dangerous.
Splendid.
Cast
Evanesco on those chairs. Excellent work. You'll note that you are now in possession of Moonstone. We shall discuss its uses later. Let's move on.
I have a bunch already, but whatever.
Where in Merlin's name is that elf?
Lumos.
Is that... Goodness. My old school bag. I wondered where that had got to.
Hey, waited you here for ages.
Can't believe it's
Perhaps you
still
were
here.
assigned a few more
I'll
inches of
just
the parchment
take
than
a
you'd
quick
expected.
look at
Let me
this.
know if you want to try to
Give
meet
you an
again.
opportunity
Sincerely,
to
T.
explore on your own until we locate Deke.
Yes, Professor.
Oh, wow. There are a great many
Lumos.
things.
Can't you keep it down? Some of us are trying to rest.
Lumos.
Is that an elf? Was an elf.
Accio.
Oh. Okay, so I gotta go... Oh, well, that's interesting. Huh. Maybe I have to...
Accio.
push it a little. There's no easy way to do this. It's really just shoving against the thing.
Levioso.
Aha! Oh, okay. Sunglasses.
Hope this isn't as precarious as it looks.
An intruder! Stop them!
Revelio.
No, not... that's not helpful, you worthless pile of tin!
Well, no, but okay. Bit offended the room thought I needed a bath. Cheeky thing.
Revelio.
I mean, listen, if it's useful, if you really, really need it, then by all means. The fact that someone really desperately needed a whetstone for their executioner's axe, or maybe, like, ideally
How does anyone
woodcutter's
other than a
axe,
house elf manage to get around in here?
that's a little disturbing. Love that harp. Hey, Grains, how you doing? Evening.
What was that? Revelio. Was that a golden stitch?
Huh.
Perhaps you should summon your wits and find out.
Accio. Revelio.
Okay, so we gotta go through here. Here we go. But not.
Accio.
That didn't help. Oh, I know. Maybe I have to... No. Pull that through here and use it over here? Ah, I could just do that. That's cool. Very cool. Alright, moving on.
Revelio. I hope that house elf can find us in here.
A very eerie glow. And that house elf. There he is.
Yikes! Careful! Huh? Oh, there you are. Wait right there. Deke will come to you. Hello.
Ah, Deke, we've been looking for you.
Apologies, Professor Weasley. Deke was looking through some of what's appeared in the room since Deke was last here. Is this the student?
Indeed it is.
Deke is honored to meet you.
Deke has been a friend since I was a second year. We discovered this room together. I mentioned you to Deke. We believe that you might be able to benefit from this room like I did. Deke, would you be so kind?
Of course, Professor Weasley.
Sorry about that.
The Room of Requirement will always be equipped for the Seeker's needs. It's unplottable, so won't appear on any map. Most happen upon it by accident, if ever. Deep-seen students in need of an extra file for potions stumble upon the room filled with them. You seem to have accessed it in its form as the Room of Hidden Things.
I was thinking about needing a place away from prying eyes. Brilliant.
Oh, that explains it then.
What I need specifically is a place where I can catch up on my schoolwork without distraction.
Well then, the room can provide you with precisely that. Now, it's time to focus on what you need. Just close your eyes. Imagine the room precisely as you need it. The room will do the rest.
I kind of like that magic gets a little bit excessively dangerous in this universe. That it does become just like wild and unpredictable in a lot of cases. Stuff like this, like that. There's no reason for that to be that dangerous. It's really cool. But man, I would not want to be around that sort of thing regularly.
I look forward to seeing what you do with the space. Ah, and it seems the room has provided you with a desk of description. Excellent. It can identify unfamiliar items of clothing. One should always understand the effects of anything in which one is clothed.
So, Green's family asks, any new games coming out you're going to be playing? I don't tend to play brand new games. This is probably the most recent game I've played on this channel. In large part because I don't like buying new games at full price, especially if I don't know the quality. And then also because frankly my computer can't handle a lot of cutting edge games, at least not very well, as evidenced by this game sputtering quite a bit on relatively low settings. That said, I have been really enjoying Baldur's Gate 3, and there's a lot of stuff I have to say about it. Although it's stuff I can also just sort of comment on other streams when we're playing other games, which if you'd like to hear some of my thoughts about it so far, I'm only in Act 1, but still, I'd be happy to. In any case, though, I might at some point want to play it on stream. I might also want to play Jedi Survivor after we're done with Fallen Order on Monday evenings. We'll see if I can pick it up. We'll see if that's in the cards, financially or technologically. If so, I'd be definitely willing to play that, especially given that it's a direct sequel to something we're already playing on stream. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 I've been enjoying quite a bit. I might be willing to play it on stream. The issue is that I have some audio sputtering a lot of the time, especially in dialogue, which really will detract from the viewing experience, especially. So your experience of watching me play would be greatly reduced by the audio sputtering that I get a lot of the time. So I might steer away from it. That said, it's been a lot of fun. And also there are gameplay elements, especially in the sort of tedium of the turn-based combat, that might not lend itself too terribly well to me playing on a live stream and discussing things that come up with you guys. So maybe not. I'd be open to considering it. I'll think about it. It's another one of those where I'd really like to upgrade my seriously upgrade my computer before I'd really want to stream it. But we'll see. Otherwise, I'm trying to think of what new games in the last year or two I'm really interested in streaming and discussing. Not too much comes to mind, really. If there is anything that you'd like to see, feel free to suggest. I'm open to suggestions, by all means. But anyway, yeah. Like I said, I am definitely willing and open and eager even to talk about some of the things that I've noticed and have some of the good things and some of the bad things, because there's a good mix in Baldur's Gate and in Baldur's Gate 3. Like I said, I'm only in Act 1. Just dealing with I'm just going through the Underdark at this point, and I gotta say I'm a big fan of the Forgotten Realms D&D setting. I've ran a bunch of games in Forgotten Realms. I've played a few games in Forgotten Realms. It's a cool setting. I'm getting a little bit tired of some elements of the setting, mostly the cosmopolitanism. But that again, it's a very modernist fantasy rather than a sort of classical fantasy. And what I mean by that really is that the various races and the various civilizations are treated more or less like real world ethnicities and cultures, rather than as different kinds of people entirely. And that goes all the way back through Forgotten Realms. That's not some newfangled, like, post-2016 wokest sort of thing. That is how Forgotten Realms works. Like, elves are much more like a different culture than they are like a different kind of creature entirely. Yeah, they have some quirks and eccentricities and things, and they have some different origins. And of course, different gods and all that, but they are more or less just people. Right? And so it's a very cosmopolitan world. And there's something really cool about that, and there's something really interesting about that. But there's also there's a lot of limitations on what that allows in terms of storytelling. You can't tell the story of something that is profoundly alien, or a profound difference between peoples coming into contact with one another that you can in some other settings. Greyhawk does that better for D&D. But really, it's hard to do that sort of thing outside of, say, strictly Tolkien. Or, I will say, I'm working on a D&D setting that, if it works well after a homebrew game or two, I might actually publish as a setting guide. Maybe even system agnostic setting guide if you want to use like old school essentials, or if you want to use 5e, or if you want to use Pathfinder for some reason. I hate Pathfinder 2e, but if you want to, whatever. Or if you want to use GURPS or something, it would probably work reasonably well. So I might just do a system agnostic setting guide for it, because I have always kind of wanted a setting, not always, but for the last few years at least, really wanted a setting where the other races, the other peoples, the other species, whatever you want to call them, are in a lot of ways profoundly different in a way that makes them not just, humans in cosplay or foreigners they're really profoundly different types of people with a different way of understanding the world that comes not just from culture but from their essences. And so again, I've got a world in development that has a lot of those aspects that I'd like to see more in D&D settings. Anyway, that's a big tangent from saying that I really like Baldur's Gate 3. For the most part, there's elements I don't like. There's even gameplay elements that I don't like. A lot of the things there are things that you can do that turn out to be really bad ideas that are not well signposted, to the point where if I was playing a D&D game at the table and my DM put that situation forward and had those consequences happen in such an oddball, unpredictable manner, I would probably consider that to be a toxic DM, and that would be a problem. Like that would be a gameplay problem at the table. I have a couple of issues like that. Erica, my wife, has had more issues like that than I have. Again, sheer happenstance, depending on which quests you do and what order and that sort of thing. But yeah, so there's some gameplay issues having to do with that. But aside from that, I really do like the Forgotten Realms, and I like the world that this game lays out. I do wish you got more into getting into the city of Baldur's Gate earlier. It's called Baldur's Gate. I want to play around in Baldur's Gate. I even more so, honestly, I would even more so I'd really enjoy a similar game. Larian, go for it. Larian Studios could totally do this. Something in Waterdeep. Waterdeep is my favorite D&D, or at least my favorite Forgotten Realms city, or at least setting. Great, it's fascinating. So much going on. It's massive. It's unbelievably large by sort of medieval or even Renaissance standards. It's the city is in the city proper, it has 150,000 residents, which is massive from a medieval or even a Renaissance standpoint. There was nothing that came even close to that until the early modern period, until proper industrialization. But again, magic in a high magic setting like the Forgotten Realms, magic works alike industrial technology. Which is actually, I'll note another thing that I kind of want to pull back on: have magic be a little bit more mystical than it tends to be especially in Forgotten Realms and in Eberron. Anyway, I went off on a bunch of tangents there, so if I sidestepped your question, I apologize. Summarize: if there are newish games that you'd like to see me play and talk about on here, feel free to let me know. I'm well open to suggestions. All right, desk, very useful. Mask, nice gloves. Almost like those gloves.
You'll find plenty of items of clothing that need to be identified. The desk will be an invaluable resource.
I sit. I can't sit. I'm gonna equip some of that. That looks horrible. Hate it. I really don't like that. No. What did I just... What was the other thing? Oh, it was gloves. Oh, I actually really like those. And increased damage with Incendio. Nice. I like those gloves. No, I didn't get new wand handles. I want new wand handles. Okay.
I imagine the desk of description will come in handy.
It will. I hope you'll take advantage of it. Now, I'll give you a brief lesson in conjuring. The room might not provide everything you need on its own.
Conjuring?
Yes, the magic of creating or conjuring objects. I'll teach you.
I mean, it's technically closer to transfiguration, because you're transfiguring moonstone into objects or using moonstone as a medium, I guess you'd say, as a
Very
material.
good.
So
When conjuring more
More like
complex
configuration.
objects, you'll need what's called a spellcraft. Spellcrafts are like recipes. They list the ingredients or resources needed to conjure a particular object. You should have acquired some for a potion station and potting table from tomes and scrolls in Hogsmeade.
I did. Where can I find the resources I need?
While resources such as moonstone can be obtained throughout the Highlands, it's much safer and easier to purchase them. They can also be collected by vanishing objects in the room, such as the chairs you vanished earlier. In fact, you should have enough resources for now.
I see. Can I regain resources by vanishing something I've already conjured?
You can indeed. Quite perceptive. Why don't you give it a try?
So,
Go ahead
something worth
and conjure
noting,
the potion station
it
and potting
seems to
table.
me
You should find both
like
familiar, since
this is
they'll
another
resemble the
place in
ones
this
you've already
game.
used to study magical plants and brew potions in class.
This is another aspect of this game that looks like it had something far more elaborate in mind. Something far, far more elaborate in mind before it was, let's say, if I had to guess, it was reduced from its original state. It seems like fairly significantly as well. It looked like there was a full-on crafting system. Wait, what do I need to conjure? Potting table, potions table. I actually don't like that. The eclectic one. Gothic? Yeah, let's go with the scientific. Color. Let's go with Slytherin green. There's other colors, but yeah, let's go with a nice Slytherin green. Wait, what's this? Hopping pot. Okay. Okay, herbology. Large potting table. Composter. Pumping station. Okay, color. Have this one be green too to match, naturally. Honestly, that's not bad. The botanical's not bad for a potting table. Eclectic's nice. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Well done. You can use these whenever you need to brew potions or grow
else we got?
plants. Presuming, of course, you've collected any seeds or potion ingredients you need in Hogsmeade or outside the castle grounds.
Let's throw up a nice little Slytherin crest right there. Artwork. That's stuff I've already got here. Rugs. Furnitures, paintings. It's nothing. I don't have anything. Seating. Really, I have nothing. Table. Nah, I don't think that's a good thing to put there. Let's see. Statues. What do I have? Put a Niffler right next to it, shall we? I don't have those yet. All right.
Deke will be here to answer any questions you may have. Do not underestimate his insights.
Okay.
Can I use this type of transfiguration magic outside of the room?
Here's the funny
Conjuring
part.
and vanishing are strictly forbidden elsewhere in the castle. We've charms in place to enforce that. It would be exhausting to reverse the errors in both judgment and magic. But the Room of Requirement has its own rules.
Of course, because yes, I can totally cast Avada Kedavra anywhere I want, but not Evanesco.
I will be sure to speak with Deke if I need anything. Thank you.
Good
Absurd.
luck.
Love it.
I shall linger a bit longer in case you'd like to learn another transfiguration spell for use in the room.
I would, yes. Thank you, please. I got a bunch of stuff. Okay, now I have a bunch of...
I'm ready for the next
Velcros.
lesson, Professor.
Very well. First, you'll need to gather some moonstone. You
Got
can
it.
acquire it by vanishing items here in the Room of Requirement. Return to me
Got
once
it.
you've gathered.
Got it. Yeah, I
I have the moonstone you require.
Good.
have a good deal.
You can conjure more than potion.
I know.
Conjuration can be used to Why
Yep,
don't you try it on
decoration.
the wall?
Decorate some stuff. I could have already done this, but... Alright, wall decorations and floor decorations. Whoop, whoop. What a rug. Actually kind of cool. Whoop, 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 whoop. That would be nice and green. And tastefully black. Matches the rest of the decor. Nice rug.
Deke
nice
hasn't
mirror.
seen this many plants here before.
Drink it a little. That's nice. No furniture. We have rugs. Floating candles. That's nice.
Deke thinks you should be proud of all the potions you've brewed.
All right, I need more wall decorations. All right. Artwork. Yeah, that's the one from the room outside. Put that on there. That'll be good. What else we got? And baby. Now let's see what else. Seating. More tables. Really need more tables. Don't have more statues. I have more seasonal. All right, it's got to be portraits then, huh?
Good work.
There we go.
Shall we move on?
Yes. Let's. Actually, wait. Is there a whole other? No, there's not. All right.
I've conjured everything I can. What's next, Professor?
I mean, I could do more, but
You're
it would be
ready
cluttered.
to take on alteration. The altering spell will allow you to customize any conjured item.
It's just
you
moving
can change
stuff.
the colors, patterns, and styles of your furniture to suit your taste. Let's get started.
So you don't
shall
have to. So
we?
if you
Watch
so you
closely
don't
as
have to
I
vanish and then
demonstrate how to
reconjure
perform
something.
the altering spell.
It's handy, I guess, but it's so you don't have to vanish and reconjure things. There.
Just aim your wand at any conjured item and perform the altering spell to customize it.
Oops. No, I want to change the color. Go with the nice Slytherin green. Botanical chair. And adjust the size. What do I want to adjust the size of? I can't. Can't adjust the size of that.
Believe how many beasts you have here. Dick thinks you should be proud of all the potions you've brewed.
Can't do that.
It warms my heart to see your interest in hippology, dare I say, blossom. Nicely done.
That's way
Now
worse.
you're
That
ready
looks
for
horrible.
something
I'm gonna fix
a
it.
little more advanced. You can use the altering spell directly on the room's architecture. Try these new designs on the floor or balcony.
Okay. Balcony. I like Gothic.
Your space might benefit from a bit of ambiance, don't you think? Deke, would you mind?
Of course, Professor Weasley. Professor Weasley
Oh,
showed Deke this bit of
oh,
magic
that's so
some
much better.
years ago. Deke thinks
nice.
you'll enjoy it. Come and talk to Deke when you're ready.
Yeah, the Gothic look is so much better for the whole room. I love it. All right.
Professor Weasley said I should ask you about changing the room's ambience.
Of course.
Yeah.
What sort of overall look most appeals to you?
Let's go with moonlit.
I would like the room to feel as if it's being lit by the moon.
Oh, sounds perfect.
Oh, that's nice. That is nice and cozy. I really dig it.
quite a difference. Of course, you needn't keep this style if you don't like it. You can always ask Deke to change it back. Now you have learnt a good bit about alteration.
Thank you, Professor. The room is full of possibilities.
Indeed. No matter how much time I spend here, the room always manages to surprise me.
Speaking of, look, more surprises. I've unlocked more room.
An even bigger space.
How did that happen?
The room equips itself to your needs. It must have sensed that you needed more space to practice spellcasting. If you'd like to customize the space further, you can use these spellcrafts. You'll find more of them both inside and outside the school.
Cool.
Thank you, Professor. I shall keep an eye out.
A lot of these are from side quests.
I'll leave you
it's a
to
cool
it.
little reward.
This is your space now. Use it wisely.
Green's family asks if I've heard of the possible worldwide strike. Something in September. Not really, unless you're talking about the something having to do with the Screen Actors Guild or Film Actors Guild or whatever. I've heard of some of that. Let's change color. My screen. Do the same thing with these chairs, huh?
Lumos.
Oop, not that. Not the floor. No, I haven't. I'm... I'm also, let me put it this way. We have tried basically shutting down everything for a little while. Everyone stopped working for some time a couple of years ago, and we're still suffering from the horrific aftermath. I am, of course, talking about the lockdowns and whatnot. So I don't think that is in any way a good idea. And again, I don't think that you can reasonably have any kind of practical solidarity between what, everyone. What would we even be as a unit if we're talking about what sort of worldwide strike for everything? Certainly, though, for I would not be surprised to hear, because I haven't heard about this at all, but if you're talking about the writers and actors, basically in entertainment, that expanding beyond just the U.S. In Canada, teachers and such might go on strike. Why? I mean, if it's the whole teachers are underpaid thing, that whole shtick, then I think that's a bit... Oh, wait, actually, sorry. I need to make some potions. Why I did this next. Yeah, if it's the whole teachers are underpaid and overworked thing, as a teacher, that's overblown to say the least. I would not quite say that. Actually, what do I have as far as potions go? I need... Oh, I don't have the recipes for these. Ah, crap. Maxima and Focus. I have an Endurus. Can I make these? Yeah. Oh, darn. I need the recipes. Okay, so that means I need to... that means I need to fast travel to Hogsmeade. I need to go to Pippin's to buy some more potion recipes. No, I haven't heard anything about this. It could be a Canadian thing, and they just, no offense to you or your people, but a lot of times when I hear Canadians talk about worldwide things, it means that Canada's doing it and not just the U.S.
Get any more cozy than Hogsmeade?
Now it could go beyond that perfectly well. I wouldn't doubt it. When things extend beyond the U.S. into Canada, they very often affect the whole Anglosphere. So it could well include basically the entire former British Empire, that sort of thing. That.
A wise decision. Thank you.
Sell some of these things.
Very good. Never hurts to keep my stocks replenished.
Of clothes, of course. Naturally.
I hope to see you again. Farewell for now.
I'm just going to fast travel right back. Room of requirement. But yeah, it's if that does extend in general, honestly, I think that striking in general should be considered very serious. Should be considered very seriously, I guess I should say. Because I need flaxweed stem. I grow it.
Deke hasn't seen this many plants here before.
Wait, not grass. I need seeds. And it needs to be in large pots. So I need seeds and large pot. Oh my god. Okay, fine.
Deke cannot believe how many beasts you have here.
How is Felix Felicis simpler than Focus Potion? Ridiculous.
Deke thinks you should be proud of all potions you've brewed.
Okay, so I need to go to Magic Neep and Tomes and Scrolls. Oh, and there's a quest here. Follow the butterflies. Huh. Alright. So let's go here first. Let's go swing by the Magic Neep. Then swing by the Spellcrafts, and then swing by the Leaky Cauldron. Not Leaky Cauldron, that's in London. The Three Broomstick. But anyway, I do think that, like I said, I do think that that striking should be considered very, very seriously, because the especially something like teaching, which is a profession that is very time sensitive. I think that failure to teach causes a serious detriment to students and their ongoing education. That.
Now, you let me know if there's anything else I can help you with. No one can say I don't keep it.
That'll be fine for now. I need a big pot. Spellcraft.
Hogsmeade, here I come.
The wrong way to get there. Very much the wrong way to get there. Whatever. Yeah, because teaching, the way we do it, at least, the way we do teaching, the way we do education, schooling rather, is so very time regimented. Taking time away from teaching can be extremely detrimental to a lot of the too large. Ooh. Costs 3,000 though. Potting table with a medium pot. I mean, look, I could just put 2 of these. A material refiner. Produces moonstone. I don't need more moonstone. I have tons. And I'll be getting a bunch. Alright, so...
Nothing like finding just the right thing, is there?
Medium potion station. I don't actually need that. 2 large, 3 medium. Where's 1 medium? Yeah, I love this cape. It goes really well with the outfit. It fits Soren quite well. I really do like it.
Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help.
I do like this one. It's a good one. I don't know if it's my absolute favorite, but it's one of my favorites for him, and it's also very fitting for flying because of the.
I've had an irrationally intense fear of it ever since.
Okay,
it's silly, but I'm insatiably
Are we back?
curious as to where
I think
the
we're back.
butterflies go
We're
in the
close
forest.
to back. There we go.
You couldn't possibly find out, could you?
You want me
She
to follow
really,
the
really, really
butterflies?
wants to
I
know
don't
where the
guess.
butterflies go in the
If you
Forbidden
wouldn't
Forest.
mind.
Because she's terrified of it. Honestly, for good reason. It's a scary place.
What were the horrible stories you were told about the Forbidden Forest?
Soren has not even
Oh,
been into the Forbidden
goodness,
Forest. Oh, no, that's not
everything
true.
From
He did.
students being mysteriously beheaded to terrifying spider dens. Oh, trust me, you hear that at 11 years old. It sticks with you.
Both of those are actually true. From experience.
Very well. If I have time, I shall see where they lead.
Oh, how kind. Students
Both
these
check it
days
out.
have so much more courage than I ever did.
This is
You
just
can
a series
easily
of
find me
like
right
collection
around
quests. So
I hope to see
I'll
you
eventually do
soon.
these. I'll sort of do these passively as we go.
Don't forget, the butterflies always seem to be on the fringes of the Forbidden Forest. Good luck.
I know. Let's go back to the room of requirement. We have some potion brewing to do. Ooh, actually, you know what? Instant grow plants is a bad idea. Yeah, I'll put it on, then I'll make sure I turn it off though. Anyway, I do think that, like I said, I think that that striking in a profession like teaching has serious deleterious effects that are that make it kind of uniquely selfish. Not uniquely. There are a lot of professions like this that are extremely time sensitive, where any interruption can have extremely negative effects for a lot of people. I have no beasts here. What are you talking about? Deke, are you crazy? Well, yes, but... Okay. Oh, no, wait, no. Conjuration.
Dick,
Big!
you should be proud of all the potions you've brewed.
Let's go scientific for this one. Can I move it any closer over here? No. That's fine. That'll work. Oh, I don't want blue. I want green. Match everything else.
Deke hasn't seen this many plants here before.
Okay, I need... Fluxweed, right? Need fluxweed? Yeah, I need fluxweed stems. I need troll bogies. Oh, that's for invisibility. I don't need invisibility. I do need Stench of the Dead and Shrivel Fake. I have enough for... I need, for Focus Potion, I need Fluxweed Stem. That needs to be in the big one. Okay. Got it. Yay. I have everything I need. Oh man, you're at 574 collectibles. Jesus. That's nuts. I think you might have beaten my... I did not... So when I say 100% playthrough, what I mean is, just to clarify, that I 100%ed the quests, not the collections. Actually, wait. Let me see what my actual quest is here. This is the task for getting to full soap. Professor Sharp. Maybe we can go do the. We go back to the. The common room is right near the potions room, so all right. Focus potion and then Maxima and a Duracell thing. I mean, I can just use them all at the same time.
Excellent.
Look at me, full of rocks and so powerful. All right. Honestly, that's actually one of those things where, like, here's the thing. I have almost sole discretion in my classroom whether I'm having class or not in a given day, right? I can just cancel class literally whenever I want for literally any reason I want at any time, and no one will question me. And I have yet to abuse that. I have canceled class once because the kids didn't want me to leave. There was that. That happened one time. So I abused it once. But I also had a complete plan for what was to be done that day. I had a fully developed pre-recorded lecture that covered the material that was to be presented, and everything was all set. And I took very careful responsibility, and I actually put in probably more work than it would have been to just go to class and teach in order to make sure that everything was caught up with. So it's not like I was just blowing things off. And if I'm sick, same. Like if I get sick and I can't go to class, I will wind up putting in at least as much work. And it's not because I have to, strictly speaking, right? Because I don't technically. Let's go to the Slytherin common room. Because like I said, it's not that I technically have to, right? Because I don't. Really, I don't. I can. There's nothing really preventing me from canceling class at any given day, right? And I could also basically teach my what is actually an on-ground in-person class as if it were an online class, which an asynchronous online class. There's nothing technically stopping me from doing that. Like, I have an incredible amount of freedom in terms of how I teach my classes, how I convey the information, how I make assessments and all that. And I always have. I've always really appreciated that about both of the schools I've taught at, that I've had a good deal of freedom in how I arrange my classes, how I teach. But that doesn't mean I will just blow things off, because I understand that if you get behind, hi peeps, if you get behind teaching, even just a little bit, you'll be behind for the rest of the semester, and it will be a huge, enormous, maybe even insurmountable obstacle to try and catch back up. And so, and again, a lot of that is, oh hey, it's that. Okay, yeah, hold on. Whoop, forgot. There we go. But because of that, because it is so, because there is so much urgency, I guess you'd say, to teaching, to a particular. That's very cool. To teaching a particular subject at a particular time and all that.
Insert the token.
What are you up to now?
Because it's so time sensitive, it's I think really irresponsible to just blow it off. for any reason, even if the reason seems good.
If I'm to open this.
Even if the reason is something like,
by the look of it.
Oh, and there's a combination too. Yeah, those are numbers. Is there a flue powder thing right above me? What's this? Quad courtyard? Oh wow, I really have to go pretty far to get to that. Meanwhile, Professor Sharp's assignment is way the heck over there. Wow, alright. These are in radically different places. This is... Jeez. I thought the potions classroom is actually pretty close to the Slytherin common room. They are not at all. That's fine. I have 6 talent. During curse for a long period of time. Resting momentum, Curio, CO. The Pendo can turn into a curse, but Depulso can't. That's weird. I mean, it's fine, but weird. I could get another spell knowledge, new spell set, but I'll wait on that. I'll get a few more. Spells? So nah. That's actually pretty cool. But I'm not going to be using Depulso. Alright, anyway. Moving on. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until I get more spells. No, I can afford a Wiggenwell potency. 1 and 2. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Anyway, that is just some sort of vague thoughts about general thoughts toward teachers' strikes. I think that they are, like I said, largely irresponsible. Can I just fly to it? I bet I could. Oh. Yes, I can. I bet I can. Ooh. Oh, hey, this.
Off on another adventure, are we?
That's where it is. Okay, I never go here. I don't have,
Accio.
There's a page up there. I see it flapping around. Get down here. There we go. Green says, I grew up on the res, so they don't teach us much there. Sadly, it's why when I moved to the city, I didn't do well. Yeah, I get that. I've heard that. I've heard such things plenty of times, which is really sad. I don't know. It's a matter, I think, of...
Accio.
Oh, no.
Levioso.
Levioso for this one. It's really the public school system problem. Just radically increased. Wait, what was that?
Revelio.
With the Daedalian key. Okay, chase it. Where the hell's it going? Where the hell did it go? Completely lost track of the damn thing. Bastard. I think it's going down here, though. Probably headed off. Yeah, here we go. This is a neat little minigame. I enjoy it. It's fun. You have to slap it. Right when it goes across. Oh, okay. Ooh, jeez, this is overloading the game. Okay. Try this again. Yeah, no, my reflexes are not doing this well. On the res, it's Dan Council, run by the council, not the city. It's run by the council, not by the city. Yeah, and I mean, well, it is, but I'm sure there's plenty of, I would assume, provincial oversight in Canada, right? I don't know a ton about Canadian politics, honestly. At least not. Oh, it's a lot. At least not like big picture structurally, like how your basic your sort of federal levels interact with each other. So I don't know a ton about that. So anything I say here, I could be wildly wrong. But I would think that there's a good amount of at least provincial interference and nannying, if you will. Down there. Okay, we back? Looks like we're back. Kind of. Yeah, okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm an anarcho-capitalist in terms of libertarianism, in terms of my particular breed of political idealism. I don't blame anyone for not trusting the government, not even slightly. Really, we're lagging again. This bad, huh? All right, it'll get there. It's getting there. All right, we're better. It's getting better. I mean, I'm glad it's getting better, certainly. That is good to hear. I mean, I don't know. I have seen tons of issues in Canadian politics, and I talked about this the last time I taught this. Oh, where the hell did it go?
Revelio.
Where'd the key go? Alien key. Where did it go? Ah, I missed it. It escaped. I only heard it. I didn't see it. Damn. I'll come back for it. What's this? That isn't potions class. What is this? Oh, this is where we get Confringo. Okay, near Hecat's room. Oh, it is. It's up near Hecat's room. Okay, I'm gonna go run to that. There's an easy way of getting into it. Here's Hecat's room.
I've always said that travel broad...
Ah, I see it. I see it. There we go. Got it. Nice. Thank you. Very handy. I love this silly little minigame. Because it seems wildly unnecessary. Like, you could just catch the damn thing. Oh, damn it. Too soon. And then, like, after you smack the thing over there, just grab it and shove it in the lock. But no. Gotta be complicated, you know? There we go. Another one! Huzzah! Yeah, that was the Undercroft. That little quest over there. It's not where we're going yet. I do want to get to Pulso first. Because that also unlocks some other side quests and some various other options in terms of combat and out of combat and all that. So, anyway. I don't actually use Depulso very much in combat, but it's a very useful puzzle spell. So, we'll hang on to it then.
What's this I hear about rule breaking? You're at school to learn.
Another howler.
Frolic around like a muggle. Learn to behave yourself, or it will be worse than howlers for you.
Revelio.
Or bastard.
I think there were doxy eggs as well. But surely those were cold.
Alright, here we go.
So intimidating.
Glass. Yeah, I have last time in one of my classes I talked about the in particular the developments with respect to MAID, medical aid in dying. That is basically the assisted suicide regimen in Canada, that whole governmental system. And the horrible perverse incentives in the program. Because it basically encourages in a lot of cases, most heinous to me at least, it encourages ethicists like people who are paid as ethicists, sort of ethical consultants to hospitals, to actively suggest suicide to patients from a sort of position of at least intellectual authority, and that's absolutely heinous. That is the opposite of the role of an ethicist. That is an ethicist's duty absolutely perverted. And so again, I think that sort of thing, there are a lot of, that being one of them, there are a lot of extremely negative trends in Canadian politics, just like there are in a lot of politics worldwide. Here also we certainly have our negative trends as well. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. But that's certainly a very, very troubling one. It's very, very troubling, especially with all of the various perverse incentives, like I said, that come along with it.
That was an interesting class.
Wasn't precisely what I had in mind, but it was still brilliant. Thought for certain you'd have helped.
Oh, last time.
I'm glad I avoided trouble. Sharp certainly seemed upset with you.
His bark's worse than his bite. I think deep down he respects my artistic spirit. Sharp may seem gruff, but I'd bet a few galleons he blew up a potion or two in his day. Best be off. Next time we talk, I promise, fewer explosions.
I forgot to talk to him after last class, I suppose.
How are your assignments coming along?
All done.
I completed your assignments, Professor.
Good. You should be ready to learn Depulso. Let's see what you can do. Concentrate. Do not let your mind wander.
Okay.
You've got it now. If you'd like to practice, and I think you should, perhaps best not to go flinging your classmates about the halls. I suggest having a go at the enchanted books here.
Hell yeah.
Well done. I'm glad to see that you seem staunchly determined to master your spellcasting.
Banishing charm. This is not a banishing charm. This is a whack things around charm.
Well, repetition can be an excellent teacher.
All right, I am gonna unequip it. I'm gonna stick with Expelliarmus because it is a curse when I use it. Love that. Like I said, I don't actually use Depulso very much. Talus, that's a handy one. But like I said, I don't actually use Depulso very much in combat in this game, but whatever. Okay, what's next? Butterflies, keys, ghost of all love, an appearance thing, conjuration spell. Might be nice. Yeah, let's get Confringo, because Confringo is actually really nice. Really nice damage spell. A ranged fire spell.
Handy resource indeed. Your field.
I thought Professor Black would get rid of all the muggleborn students.
Too much to hope for. Jeez, that's dark.
Potions is dull and charms is dire. Nothing's as clever as playing with fire.
Wonderful. Okay.
Complete the tasks I've given you, and then meet me in my classroom to learn Defindo, the severing charm. It's typically used to cut an object, but can be a powerful weapon when needed.
Cool. What's the assignment? Use an invisibility potion. Acquire and use a thunder brew potion against enemies. Okay. Okay, I don't have an invisibility potion. I'm gonna have to get some things for both of these. I have to fight trolls, aren't I? I'm gonna have to find a troll to fight to get bogeys. This one's gonna take me a little while. It's fine. It's fine.
Sebastian, it's been a while.
It has. Glad you received my owl. I have something to show you.
First, let me thank you for what you did in the library.
Of course. Scribner tried to give me detention, but I have ways out of these things.
Well, you took the fall for me.
That's sketchy.
That counts for something.
Did you find what you were looking for?
I did, but something was missing. I'm not sure here is the best place to discuss it.
Understood. We can talk more in a moment, in the Undercroft. Not even the professors know about this place.
I highly doubt that.
This way.
I very highly doubt that.
There's a secret passage just here.
It's well disguised.
You know, I have to say that a lot of the secrets in Hogwarts and the fact that students seem to have this tendency of finding and discovering so many of these little secrets, and the fact that almost every professor in Hogwarts is always a former student, would indicate to me that a lot of them probably know about some of these things. And they just sort of look the other way when students discover them.
How did you find this place?
My friend, Ominous Gaunt. He named it the Undercroft. We used to play gobstones here all the time. With my sister.
It is very cool.
She loved that infernal game.
Nice place.
What I wouldn't give to lose to her again. I
Oh.
should tell you, I swore to Ominous I would safeguard this place. So please, keep this between us.
That,
He never confides in anyone.
I don't know what a lot of this is. Some of these are alchemical markings, the ones right by his face there. But that thing in the center of the thing in the center of the symbol, that is very clearly an ancient magic swirl on the key. I think that's the key. That was the port key that Fig's wife found. It has to be. Ah, I had never noticed that before. What about this? Bunch of alchemical symbols. I've never taken a very careful look around here. Oh yeah, so Green's family. I have not seen the new Star Wars show yet. Talking about Ahsoka, I assume. I talked about it a little bit earlier. I've heard some things that make me curious enough to want to check it out. Basically, to summarize, because I spent maybe a half an hour talking about it because I yammered on and kind of got distracted in the middle of things. But the short summary version is that I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. I've heard some positive things and I've heard some negative things. But what makes me the most interested is the reasons for the negative things I've heard, which is basically that it's far too, I guess you'd say, too reliant upon other stuff, like on Rebels. And so a lot of the people who I've seen give negative reviews have said things like, well, I didn't really watch Rebels, or I only really saw Rebels years ago when it came out, or I didn't really care for Rebels past the first, I never watched Rebels past the first season, or things like that. And I can understand that. I mean, especially if you're judging it based off the first season, Rebels is a kid show. It's very, very much a kid show, and not in a good way. Especially the first season is very most of the first season at least is very meh. It's not very good. It only really gets good. See, I also really like this one. Really like this coat, but it's got a lion on it. Blue. I like this coat. What do you think? This coat or this cape? Coat or cape? Black cape? Nah. Coat or cape? I think there's a blue one, but that's a little too much. I'm going to go with the cape for right now, but I might switch back. It is green after all. Gotta keep that house thematics going. Anyway, so before I get distracted again too much, I really did like Rebels. I mostly like the characters, although honestly, unfortunately. Sabine was probably my least favorite Rebels character because she was like unrealistically Mary Sue-ish in a lot of ways. Whoa, that's very delicate. That was precarious. There were aspects of Sabine I didn't really care for compared to the other characters, so yeah, and she does seem to be kind of, from what I've heard at least, the main character of the Ahsoka show. At least so far.
Accio.
Whee! So there's that, and that's kind of a negative, I suppose. But I definitely, because I liked Rebels, I liked the character relationships that were established there. I feel like I might actually like the show, despite other potential issues, like the whole non-lethality of stab wounds, and maybe some dialogue stuff that was kind of flimpy. But this kind of goes back to what I liked so much about the old EU, which was that it was an entire world that sort of co-developed together. Right, the whole world of Star Wars, the galaxy of Star Wars, the story of Star Wars was developed in so many of these cross-referring books, these books and comics and games, and all these sorts of things that sort of referred back and forth to each other, in a really networked sort of way, especially because it jumped around the timeline, right? Especially throughout the 90s, the Bantam era. The books were written wildly out of chronological order. Because you started with the Thrawn trilogy, which was the first... Well, no, not technically. You started with Dark Empire, which was bad, but it was also late. It was 8 or 9 BBY, something like that. Or ABY, sorry. It was like 6 years after the movies. And then you go back to the Thrawn trilogy, which was a couple years before that. And then you go to The Courtship of Princess Leia, which is like the next thing that came out. And that was a year or two before the Thrawn trilogy. Right? So all of these things were written sort of weirdly out of order. And then you kind of go forward to the Jedi Academy trilogy, to the Callista trilogy, to Young Jedi Knights. A lot of that was much, much later. You don't really get a chronologically keep going forward in time until the New Jedi Order phase, which was all really cohesive and developed together. So because it was jumping around a lot, you had a lot of co-referring going on. You had a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of referring forward, referring backwards, planting hints, planting things that become important later on. And if you've already read stuff, you recognize, ooh, that's important later. It's important in the Thrawn trilogy in a few years when you're reading the X-Wing books that came out 8 years later. So that kind of thing. It's really cool, really well put together. It all seemed nice and coherent. And I always loved that. About the old EU. But you cannot do that. You can't do that kind of storytelling and have a mass market appeal. You can't appeal to the normies who are going to see this, or let me put it this way. You're not going to appeal to the Mandalorian audience who sees cool armor guy and thinks, huh, Star Wars is neat. I saw that movie at one point. I should watch this show. Aw, Baby Yoda, so cute. Right? That's the appeal of The Mandalorian. And you can't market to that audience with this kind of technique of interrelating a bunch of these niche little things, because, you know, normies don't read books. I hate to say it, but most people don't read books. Whereas in the old days, in the old EU days, if you were to read one Star Wars EU book, you're much more likely to read a lot of them, if not all of them. Or at least all the ones you could find. That was me growing up as like a, 8-year-old kid. So again, I think that really, if Star Wars is to be saved at this point, I think that this is the kind of story that it needs to be telling. Same with Andor. Andor does the same thing. And it was excellent. Because it was this tiny little story that fits in with a bunch of other things. Like Saw Gerrera shows up. Who the hell is Saw Gerrera? You wouldn't know that. You might remember from Rogue One vaguely. But like a bunch of this stuff just sort of fits together, moving around the timeline, you know? And that's only if you've caught up with a whole bunch of different stuff. I think that Star Wars could be saved right now by doing this thing that the old EU kind of had to do by necessity because of, lack of access to mass market media. They didn't have the budget for these TV shows that they're doing. They didn't have the budget for releasing a movie every few years like Disney's been trying to do, or was initially trying to do. What they had was novels. They had video games, back when video games were cheap to produce. And so what you had was a really niche market of people who are obsessive and who would consume absolutely everything. For good reason, because it was mostly good. And would really get into all of the minutiae and get all of the cross-referencing going on. Whereas you can't appeal to a mass market that way. You just can't do it. And so I think, again, that's why I think the old EU succeeded, and the way that they will have to go if they're going to sort of save Star Wars. Smaller scale, interconnected, small budget especially. Little things, marketing to a smaller audience. Because as popular as Star Wars has always been, it's always been a niche interest. Real interest. I mean, the mass marketability has been the original trilogy. That's it. That's really it. That's what everyone has seen. Like, if you ask how many people in, say, the English-speaking world have seen, say, Episode 4, A New Hope, it's got to be over half of the entire English-speaking world has probably seen Star Wars, the original Star Wars, or in some version or another. Most people have probably seen it. But if you ask how many people have read The Truce at Bakura, I don't know, probably less than 100,000 people in the world. Like, that's the difference, though. That's really the difference in terms of marketability. You have to be able to market to a much smaller audience and still be profitable. And to do that, you need smaller budget things. Because Star Wars has always been a niche thing for super nerds. Until we tried to make it hyper mainstream, and it has led to nothing but problems in the last 10 years or so. I'll even limit it to the last 7 years. I mean, because really it's been since The Force Awakens. Anyway, that is my 2 cents on the Ahsoka show without having seen it yet. I am probably going to watch it. Probably going to give it a shot. Because I'm more optimistic having heard some of these bad things about it, which is weird. But I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm also probably going to be a little bit soured on it because I just finished the Thrawn trilogy, the proper Thrawn trilogy, like a couple months ago. So I'm going to naturally be negatively comparing it in my mind. So there is that. That's unfortunate. But otherwise, we'll see. We'll see. I'm, again, cautious. I'm a little more optimistic than I was. I was expecting to be disappointed. And now that's still a possibility, but there's a reason to think it might actually be okay. We'll see.
I know Ominous. Met him in our common room. I've noticed he uses his wand to navigate the castle.
He does. No idea how, though. Ominous was born blind, and no spell could reverse it. His wand seems almost sentient. Not surprising, I suppose. Ollivander always says, the wand chooses the wizard.
Is that how he found this place?
No, someone in his family knew about it. The Gaunts are full of secrets. I've never heard anyone else speak of it, and I've certainly never seen anyone else here. Again, mention this to no one, especially Ominous. He has no love lost for his family or their secrets, but this place is special to him.
Of course. Ominous spoke to me about his family when we first met. To say that he has no love lost for them is an understatement.
Glad you understand. Anyway, the Undercroft has been a perfect place to sneak off to, away from prying eyes, and even practice otherwise forbidden spells.
Really?
This is interesting.
Like the
this raises problems for the books.
It's not an appropriate spell to teach students.
100 years hence. Because given that this is a secret place in the castle, a secret chamber, if you will, known only to the Gaunts, who are heirs of Slytherin, it raises the question, why wasn't this suspected as being the Chamber of Secrets? Because certainly someone must have known about this place. Someone must have known about this place. or at least heard of it, right? That this could well be what's called the Chamber of Secrets, and it might have had some monster in it, right? That's a possibility. So the fact that this was never even remotely considered, even in rumor, of being the Chamber of Secrets, it introduces some problems into the actual books. This is the danger of prequel world building, by the way. You can introduce problems that come up later on.
A proper magical education ought to include all magic.
My thoughts exactly. A spell like Confringo is only truly dangerous in untrained hands. Such spells should be properly taught, not banned. To be fair, I'm admittedly partial to more fiery forms of magic, but you should learn it. I can teach it to you safely here. It may take a while to get the feel for it.
I disagree.
Movement. The incantation is Confringo.
Very well.
I'm going to get it immediately. What are you talking about? I say that as I press the wrong button. All right.
You're getting it. Ready to actually try it out? Stick to the target.
Actually.
Best to keep the Undercroft intact. Have a go at those candelabras.
Confringo.
Nice work. How's it feel?
It's a tad hot.
You'll get used to it. That's it.
I think I've got it.
Well done.
That's quite the range on this.
I have to say, I enjoyed that.
The first time Ominous and I practiced Confringo, we singed our eyebrows.
I would have paid to see that.
I swore we'd never live it down. To this day, there's something about that spell that's addictive.
It was pretty cool.
This is exactly the type of magic I've been hoping to learn.
There's more where that came from. Been practicing similar spells here for ages. Although, I didn't tell Anne and Ominous about every one. Haven't been here in some time. It's not the same without Anne.
I'm sorry about your sister. If there's anything I can do...
Perhaps when I next head to Feldcroft, you could come along. Meet Anne. She could use some cheering up.
Nice.
Just let me know when and I'll meet you.
Oh, she misses Hogwarts. She's been stuck at home with our guardian, Uncle Solomon. Unfortunately, you'll have to meet him too. Well, meeting a new student will be precisely what she needs.
I shall look forward to it.
Cheers. By the way, what was it you couldn't discuss out in the hall earlier?
I'm not sure where to start.
You said something was missing from what you found in the library. I assume it's to do with what you told me. About the port key, and Gringotts, and Ranrock.
Nothing gets past you. And yes, it is. As I'm sure you suspect, there is a bit more to all of this.
I'm listening.
You must promise to keep this between us.
I trusted you with knowledge of the secret Undercroft. You can trust me.
All right.
Fair trade. I mean, kind of.
I can see traces of ancient magic.
Ancient magic? I don't know what I was expecting you to say, but it wasn't that. What does that even mean?
Honestly, I'm not entirely certain. All I know is that I can see whispers of an old magic that hardly anyone else can. Fig and I think that Ranrock has somehow found a way to harness that magic's power.
Are you telling me that goblins may be wielding some sort of wizard magic?
That's what we're trying to find out.
And this ability of yours, does this allow you to wield this magic too?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's where I was doing the throwing thing.
Tell me. I've been studying archaic forms of magic for ages. Perhaps we can help each other. In the meantime, with both Rookwood and Ranrock after you, I suspect a bit more time practicing the blasting curse is in order. Spend as much time here as you'd like. And remember, keep this place between us. When I head to Feldcroft, I'll send you an owl.
All right. Go ahead and retype that, Green Stanley. I saw the typo. That was a rather hilarious one. So what, in general, feel free to retype. But you're asking, what's my take on myths and cryptids and such things like Wendigos? Maybe I'm not immediately. I am a bit skeptical. Let me put it that way. I'm not immediately going to. I'm not immediately going to believe that various cryptids and such are real because of eyewitness testimony or ancient legends kind of thing. But at the same time,
Hey, Sebastian. Wait.
I'm not Sebastian.
You there? I can hear you.
But at the same time, I certainly wouldn't rule it out.
I was just heading to our common room.
I've recognized that voice. You're the new 5th year. Did you just come from the Undercroft? How did you get in there?
No, let's go with this. Let's be honest. Oh, you've seen one growing up. That's very cool. I mean, I don't know if cool or horrifying, but I do think that sort of thing is plausible. I mean, certainly there's an open possibility for things like demonic influences on things like that. I certainly believe in things like angels and demons, the material that can impact the material. It's hard to look around at the world as it exists and not believe in demons, right? So, I mean, again, it's not implausible. I mean, maybe it's implausible, but it's certainly not impossible. So yeah, I bet it gives you nightmares when you're like 10. Oh yeah, yeah, I do think that sort of thing is entirely possible. I will say it's let me put it this way: it is highly unlikely that every mythological creature or every cryptid exists, right? But it's also probably just as unlikely that none of them have any basis in fact. It's like, in this case, it's like conspiracy theories, right? What you would call conspiracy theories. Yeah, it's probably unlikely that all of the various wild conspiracy theories of the last 100 years, or 50-something years, or whatever, because the term didn't really crop up until after the Kennedy assassination. Excuse me. But it's highly unlikely that all of these various conspiracy theories are true. But it's just as unlikely that the sort of standard narrative is true for everything. And so I think I would apply the same reasoning to cryptids and mythological creatures and things like that. I think that it is entirely plausible that things like Wendigos exist in some capacity. Whether that is demonic influence, like literal physical entities, whatever the case might be, there's certainly something that's behind the mythology. And even if it is a symbolic explanation of a phenomenological experience, right? Even if it is merely mythological in that sense, it doesn't mean it's completely unreal. It has a kind of influence, even still, culturally. It has an influence over people's thoughts and actions, and therefore it has some causal efficacy. It has some causal power. There is reality to that, even if it's, what science would deem fake, right? So at some level, certainly real. As far as physical, shape-changing skinwalkers, right? Again, I'm not ruling it out. I think that sort of thing is entirely possible, even if unlikely. If it is something like supernatural influence upon people that affects people in some way, whether that is transforming them, or whether that is driving them mad, whether that is getting people to believe that collective delusions, in other words, getting people to believe that they experience things. I think that's possible as well. So there's a range of possibilities as to what these various mythological creatures could be, and I think that we shouldn't rule out any of those possibilities unless we can logically rule them out. I live in Florida. Our favorite cryptid down here is the skunk ape, which is plausible. I don't think that Because the skunk ape is a particularly naturalistic creature. There's nothing really supernatural about it. It's just a very smelly orangutan-like creature. I do think that it is possible that there was at some point, probably early in human history, an ape that lived in the swamps of southeastern United States, right? The Everglades to Louisiana, that sort of range, basically the range of the American alligator. And so that sort of made it into the cultural imagination, and that sort of spawns myths and ideas today. It's the same thing that I think applies to Sasquatch. It's the same thing that I think applies to Yetis, whatever it might be. I think that there probably were these great apes that may have existed at some point throughout human history, and that sort of gets carried on through historical retellings, cultural imagination, that sort of thing. I think that's probably the most plausible explanation for the various ape-like cryptids. As far as Wendigos go, again, a supernatural explanation shouldn't be ruled. I'm no naturalist. No, that's not the term. I'm no materialist, put it that way. So, no, I'm speaking imprecisely. It is not strictly a supernatural explanation. It is a super scientific explanation, maybe, or a super physical explanation, maybe. Something which we don't scientifically understand, or can't scientifically understand in the case of immaterial beings like angels, demons, etc. But those strictly would not be supernatural, right? To use the medieval distinction, which is what I typically would use because I'm a medievalist by training, supernatural, the term is limited to those things which are directly miraculous. God overwriting the natural order of things. Angels and demons, therefore, are strictly speaking natural creatures. They're not supernatural in that case. Neither are, ghosts and poltergeists and whatever either. Oh, look up Skinwalker Ranch. Oh yes, I have. I'm fairly familiar with Skinwalker Ranch. I got another friend who comes into these streams once in a while, John. I forget if he uses his name on YouTube, John, or if he uses it's like gamer tag or something. Either way, yeah, he's from Arizona and he's big into Wendigos and a lot of the cryptids that are around that area. He's right near the Superstition Mountains, so there's a lot of that sort of thing. There's a lot of southwestern native mythology in that area that he takes pretty seriously, and he's really interested in a lot of the mythos surrounding it, which it's great. So he has suggested a lot of that sort of thing. It's pretty cool. It's, if nothing else, even if it is entirely fictional, like, once again, fictional things exist in some way, in a way that has causal power to us, because it affects the way we think about things, and therefore the way that we act about things. There's power to that regardless. So that's cool. It's either way. Very cool. I've always been fascinated by it. Like, I love those like Discovery Channel and Animal Planet specials growing up about the various, like, trying to find Bigfoot or trying to find the Loch Ness Monster, those sorts of things. Those were always fun. There was a lot of fun. All right, yeah, let's not lie to Ominous here. Again, another Slytherin, important person, important family, and there's no way he would believe that we stumbled upon it anyway. So let's just
actually, Sebastian brought me there, but he made it perfectly clear to keep quiet about it.
That rat! You breathe a word about this place to anyone, and not even your precious Professor Fig will be able to help you.
Hey, I get it.
Master, and I'm not afraid to exploit that connection if I need to.
Mine too, okay? Just easy.
You needn't threaten me. I'm not going to say anything about your Undercroft.
Why should I trust you? You just betrayed Sebastian.
What was I supposed to say?
I was trying to defend him. He was clear that this was a secret place, and I was to tell no one. He's a good friend.
I don't need you to tell me about my oldest friend. Thank you very much.
Ominous, I just meant...
I know what you meant. Sebastian gets himself in
Stop
enough
yelling
trouble.
about
He doesn't need your help.
Other people can hear you, Ominous.
Sebastian is going to get an earful about this.
I'm sure he is. Green Stanley says, that's why I live in the city now. I used to live in a trailer on the res. And something knocked on my door one day and no one was there. Yeah, spooky. Unsettling. Certainly.
Revelio.
Nothing here.
Come and see me as soon as you can. I've returned from a rather
I
unproductive
will
trip to the ministry.
do that.
Hoping your time has been more fruitful than mine.
I will do that as soon as I feel like it. What do I need to brew these? You know what I should do? I should go follow the butterflies. That's what I should do. Yeah, I'm gonna go follow the butterflies. That's what I'm gonna do. I think I can just fast route. Yes, I can just fast route. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. It's a nice mango ale I just finished, by the way. Good. Mango cart. It's I forget what the brand name is, but it's called a...
Wingardium Leviosa. It can be used to levitate objects for a short time.
Nice.
Once you've completed a few prerequisite tasks, do see me after class.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. I'll probably do the tasks off stream. Assuming I've got the time. I should. Use a venomous tentacula. I've got one. Use a mandrake on multiple enemy simultaneously. Do I have any mandrakes? I might need to grow one. No, I don't. Well, that's something that I can do off stream. Let's follow the butterflies for these last 10 minutes, though. Oh, hold on. Wait. I'm going to wait for my stream to catch up with me. All right, we're good. Good.
Revelio.
Where are you, butterflies? There's the butterflies.
There they are.
A lot of butterflies.
Making it up. Well, we've come this far. Miss Willits might get an answer about these butterflies.
Just the shadows playing tricks.
They're going across down there. Oh, they're going up the river. Oh, jeez. Seem to have gone the wrong way. Look, deer. Oh, I'm sorry, I hit you. Oh dear. Sorry. Aha!
Well,
Upskin statue.
Here.
A wolf. Very nice.
Confringo.
All right. That was it. That was easy. I'm gonna go ahead and use the venomous tentacula, like right here on these spooters.
Accio. Confringo. Levioso. Confringo. Confringo.
Spooters are taken care of. That's it, right? Huh.
Fringo.
Some galleons. Very nice. Okay. So, I've got to go talk to Mrs. Butterfly Lady, and then I'll call it a night. About all the time we've got. Anyway, we only have 7 minutes left. Let's go back to Hogsmeade. Finish this start of the Follow the Butterflies quest. Because once again, this just unlocks a whole series of these like collection quests. So that is something we will be doing as we go, just sort of in the background once again, like the Merlin trials, like the dangerous creatures, like all sorts of things like that. Once we get to the demiguises, we'll be doing that in the background as well. Though that one's a little bit of a pain because it has to be at night.
You have an answer for me about the butterflies.
I do.
Hello, Miss Willardsey.
Well, what happened? Did you find them?
They led me into the forest and revealed a treasure.
Oh, how lovely! I'm glad you were rewarded for your efforts.
Did you want it?
Perhaps one day I'll be able to bring myself to go into the forest. For now, I'm happy simply knowing there's something so lovely to see. Should I dare?
Should I dare?
Revelio.
Oh, jeez. What was that? Where is the... Where is it? I think it's upstairs somewhere. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it here. I know we're 5 minutes early. Alright, this is a good, or a good enough, certainly, place to call it quits. I'm gonna run through my quests, have a look. Definitely want to do Wingardium Leviosa. Defendo's not bad. Use a Mandrake on multiple enemies simultaneously. So that means I need to get Mandrake seeds, and that means I need to go grow a Mandrake. So I'll probably do that off stream. Oh, in her room? Yeah, let me go upstairs and go look while I'm doing my outro. In any case, let me go see. In any case, though, thank you so much for joining me. I had a good time. I do very much love this game. Again, despite some technical difficulties, it is a whole lot of fun. I do greatly enjoy it. It is a wonderful world to sort of inhabit. I'm getting closer. It's very cozy, despite all the spiders, of course. Oh, it's locked. Right. Anyway, it'll come back eventually. Anyway. I had a wonderful time, continuing to very much enjoy this game over and over. Now the second time through. So I hope you'll continue to enjoy it with me and continue on through as we go through, continue playing, talking about this game, and whatever else comes up. I also hope that you'll continue to join me on Mondays, for some more Jedi Fallen Order. I definitely will be still doing that this Monday, again, unless some crazy disaster happens, who knows. And my semester is beginning next week, so keep an eye out. I'm going to be talking a good bit about the various things that we're talking about and doing in class, so you can follow along if you'd like. I actually really encourage you to do so. It's basically a free version of an otherwise rather expensive college class, so by all means, follow along. Think of this, if you'd like, these streams as something like my impromptu office hours, where I also happen to be playing a video game, so you won't get my full attention, and for that I slightly apologize. But this the last one didn't have the bell. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, ring that bell, hit that subscribe button, do all of those nice little algorithm things. It does help, I'm told. Or just like lurk on the subscription page, which is basically what I do. That's how I experience YouTube. Is I don't use the bell for anything. I just lurk on the subscriptions page. But that's maybe I'm weird. I get the impression I'm weird about that. Anyway, I do stream every Monday, every Wednesday, with rare exceptions. Sometimes life gets in the way. It happens. This is a tertiary or so job for me. Maybe even quatortionary? Fourth? Whatever. Anyway, I do enjoy it though. So if you want to help out, help me continue doing what I'm doing. If you enjoy this, I welcome you to contribute right down there, ko-fi.com/Professor McCoy. It does help me continue doing this, and it might even help me eventually upgrade my computer. That'll help immensely for this sort of thing. Might even be able to stream Baldur's Gate or some other new modern games. That'll be wonderful. If so, great. If not, still welcome to stick around. Anyway, that's all I got time for tonight. Thank you once again for joining me. Hope you had a good time too. I certainly did. See you on Monday for more Fallen Order. See you on Wednesday for more Hogwarts Legacy. And remember, don't be safe. Be well. More importantly, be good. Good night, everyone.